goodness, what's going on with my guitar? There we go. Okay, good morning, everybody. When I say everybody, I mean you, and you, and you, and you. Welcome to Unity of Calgary. Let's start with a little song to get us into the zone. I have come here seeking freedom. I have come here seeking peace. I have come here to go deeper into the truest part of me. And it's here in this place. I can see it on each face. Oh yes, here where we are, I can feel it in my heart. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Something wonderful is happening here in me. Oh, it's real and it's true. It's my spirit shining through. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. La da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da. I've come here to remember who I truly am inside. And I've come here to release it. I no longer have to hide. Oh yes, here I can let go. I can let my feelings show. Oh yes, here in this place I can show my spirit's face. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Something wonderful is happening here in me. Oh, it's real, yes it's true. It's my spirit shining through. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. And the light I once knew, all the things I have been through, now I see, yes it's clear, every step has led me here. And it's here, in this room, that I'll find my deepest truth. Oh yes, here, I just know that I'll find my spirit's home. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Something wonderful is happening here in me. Oh, it's real, yes it's true. It's the spirit shining through. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. Oh yes, something wonderful is happening here today. And it's happening here in me. Welcome everybody to Unity of Calgary. For those of you who are just joining us, my name's Anthony, and let's say hello to the band. What Unity is to me, it's an oasis of sanity in a desert of nuttiness. And if you haven't come in person, or if you're at home watching and you want to come, definitely come. It's the one thing that saves my sanity every week is coming here. Let's start with God is here in this room. If you're at home, sing along. If you're here, sing telepathically. Oh, we need to be up to, eh? God is here in this room, and I am here too. And it's here that I feel and know, oh, that God knows who I am, and God understands what I've gone through to be here in this room with God by my side, with God as my guide. I let go and know deep inside, oh, the God is here in this room, and I am here too. And it's here that I feel and know, oh, that God knows who I am, and God understands what I've gone through to be here in this room with God by my side, with God as my guide. I let go and know deep inside, oh, that God is here in this room, and I am here too. It's here that I feel and know, oh, that God knows who I am. God understands what I've gone through to be here in this room. God by my side, with God as my guide. I let go and know deep inside, oh, that God is here in this room, and I am here too, with God in this. Honestly, it's so weird that you guys aren't singing. It's like one time I did this performance, and they had told the audience not to clap. And so, and I never, like, I'm not like, oh, I need approval, but it was so weird because it was like this dead air in between. Everybody just sat there. And it was uncomfortable for them and uncomfortable for me. And you realize, like, there's this energy thing between all of us, right? And if your voice is taken away, then it's like, okay, it's not working, right? Apparently, we sync up to all the, what do you call it? Not oxytocin. What's the one that when you hug and... No. What's the one? Is it oxytocin? Oxytocin, like the mother and the baby and all that stuff. Yeah. Apparently, when we sing together, oxytocin is released. That they studied it, and there's something about when we use our voices together, we connect in a way that we don't connect, unless, of course, we're hugging or breastfeeding and stuff like that. So that's where singing is. It's right up there with like mother-baby bonding. Ooh, see how this one goes. As long as the river flows, as long as the grass is green, as long as the children grow, salmon are going to swim upstream. 'Cause everybody wants to go home. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We're not alone. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We're not alone. Everybody wants to go home. As long as the mountains stand, as long as the eagles fly, the sun lights up the land. Forests are going to reach for the sky. 'Cause everybody wants to go home. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit on our way home. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We are all one spirit. We're not alone. 'Cause everybody wants to go home.
Thank you, Anthony, and the Unity Band. Isn't that a lovely way to begin the morning? Good morning, everyone. All of you here live, and all of you at home in your comfy little pajamas, perhaps, and a nice cup of tea in your hand, some slippers. How lovely. Just know that you too, there's a place for you here, and you too are here in our hearts. I know I miss you all, and I can't wait to have you all come back and be here with us all live. My name is Bob Elwood, and I'm a member of the spiritual leadership team here in Calgary. I would like to offer a special welcome to anyone who's new, and I see there isn't anyone who's brand new here today. Oh, Cecil lifted his hand. Oh, and so did Stephon. They're brand new every time they get up in the morning, right? Welcome. Just know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are always welcome here at Unity of Calgary. So let us begin with an affirmative prayer. Just take whatever is in your hands and set it down. Plant your feet on the ground and become present, centered in your own being. Allow your thoughts to settle. Imagine your mind is like an ocean, and every wave is a thought. So imagine that ocean calming down, the wind dissipating, and the water starting to be still and silent. Become aware of the breath that's moving in and out of your body. And notice that every time you take in a breath, you take it in from an ocean of air that engulfs the planet. Just that same sense that's how spirit is. It's like an ocean, still and calm, and it's within you. So bring your awareness to your heart and go ever deeper into the center of your own being, where your own I am presence resides. that love, that peace and calm of God, or consciousness, or source, or whatever you would like to call it. It is there inside you. It is part of you. And imagine everyone else in the room, or everyone else in your life. They too are sitting in that ocean. That ocean is in them, and they are in that ocean, just like you. And this is how we feel and sense unity, by knowing that divine presence is always there with you, holding you, supporting you. Allow it to hold you now. And as it holds you, imagine that very same presence, the Christ consciousness that is within and without, is holding everyone you love. It is holding everyone in the world, ready to support you and to support them. It is always there for you. Reach out to it now. And if you have any doubts or questions or concerns, surrender them to that presence. And if you have any questions, anything that you don't quite understand and would like a clearer understanding of, allow yourself to receive the answer. It is there waiting for you. It is there in presence. Perfect harmony, perfect health, perfect abundance. Just waiting for you to ask. And when you've given that up to Spirit, surrender it completely, trusting and knowing that the I am presence that surrounds us and that is in us will answer, will supply you with the knowledge you need to take the next step in your life and the lives of those you love. And when you're ready, you can come back into the room and we will continue with our service. Here at Unity, and in all the Unities worldwide, there are over 900 of them, we have a statement of being. So let us now affirm that statement of being by all of us speaking it out loud together. We are here as love to celebrate the one power, the one presence in our lives, in this community, and in the universe. And so it is. And now we have a tradition that we have here at Unity that's been around for over 100 years, and it's called the Daily Word. And our Daily Word reader today is a well-loved member of our community who brings his own unique divine essence every time he comes here. And I'm very grateful that he's part of our community and also part of our board. Let's please welcome Stephon Belgrade as our Daily Word reader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bob, for those very kind and heartfelt words. Okay, the Daily Word. Daily Word is, now I find my power in this very moment. There is power in this very moment. Yesterday is past. Tomorrow is not yet here. There is only this moment, ripe with promise and potential, ready for me to live into it fully. Through my many divine gifts, everything I need to get started is within me. I need not wait for the perfect moment to arrive, because there is no time more perfect than now, and no place more perfect than here. Procrastination has no place in my life. I fritter away my energy when I find reasons not to get started, losing my zeal and focus and inviting frustration into my life. Today I claim the power of the present and say, this is the day I begin. Now is the time to begin, to serve, to forgive, to create, and to love. And from 2 Corinthians 6:2, see, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation. One of the 12 powers is power. And I always wondered, why do I never get that particular power? And I thought to myself, now reading this daily word confirms for me the reason I didn't get it. You only get what you need to learn. You don't get what you already have. So this is exactly how I do things. I get an idea, I take action right away. I don't think about it. I don't think to myself, is this the right time? No, I just do it. I just get it over with. Thank you.
Hello? There we go. Yeah. No, it was on. As most of you know, we are part of a worldwide unity movement. And that unity movement has a vision, and we have taken that vision on as our own. So let us please affirm it together now. We envision a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And how we do that here at Unity of Calgary is through our mission. The whole community got together one day, way back when, and came up with this mission that the board and the spiritual leadership team used to guide all of our decisions. So let's please affirm that together now. We are a welcoming, vibrant, spiritual community that inspires hearts and transforms lives by expressing our divine essence. So if this is what you desire, then you are in the right place. And now for announcements, upcoming events. February 7th, next Sunday, our own Reverend Doug Craig is coming to speak. He comes here regularly once a month, and February 7th is his next turn, and I'm really looking forward to it, and his talk will be Walking in the Light. He has a wonderful energy and a lot of wisdom coming from very diverse personal experience. Also, for those who are not members yet and would like a new member orientation, the AGM will be here in a few short months, and only members can vote at the AGM. So if you're interested in becoming a member before then, you will need to have a new member orientation. Please contact our Unity President, Claude Pellerin, and he will see that you get one. Scent sensitivity. Some of our members have a sensitivity to scents, to scented perfumes or sprays. And so we ask all of our members, we would be very grateful if our members would come without perfumes or scented sprays here live at Unity of Calgary. And we thank you in advance for being so thoughtful. Unity Canada workshops. They're putting on 4 workshops. We've had the first 2 every second Tuesday. They have a workshop, and our 3rd one is coming up on February 9th at 6 p.m. on Zoom. And you can access that through our newsletter or by going on to unityofcalgary.org. It'll be 6 o'clock Calgary time, and the topic this coming workshop will be Unity's Affirmative Prayer and Silent Unity. So if you want to get to know a little bit more about the Unity community and what it's all about, I highly recommend the little Zoom calls. I was on the last one, and it was really good. I got to see there's people from all over Canada, different Unity members from all over Canada, and I got to get to know some of them, and there was some really good discussion. Also, we have Zoom coffee chats. We used to have them right after the service, but half the crew was busy cleaning up, and so they weren't able to get on the Zoom call. So we've changed it up a bit, and Alara Payton has volunteered to host the Zoom calls, and our next one is at 7:30 on February 29th. Or February 9th, sorry. Tuesday, February 9th at 7:30. Links are on the website and in the newsletter. And now we get the privilege of hearing another song by Anthony Burbidge and the band. Let's please welcome Anthony Burbidge and the Unity Band.
Deep in my cells. One moment. There we go. I knew it was the wrong key. We're still in the key from the last song. Deep in my cells, the wells of hunger, I am longing to be healed. And as I go within and under, what was hidden is revealed. And I exalt the oneness that gave me breath. I exalt the oneness that gave me breath. And I fall deep into who I truly am. There I find that I was always one with all there is, and that I am that I am. Deep beyond my mind, I find a silence, and I can feel I'm letting go. And I can sense that something greater is waiting to take hold. There beyond my suffering, I am well, so I let go of my suffering. I am well. I fall deep into who I truly am. And there I find that I
this connection here. Hello? There we go. Thank you, Anthony and the Unity Band. I'm nice and relaxed, being the I am that I am, so that I can introduce our next speaker, Cecil Wantner. He's been a member here for about 3 years now, and from the moment he walked into the door, he just felt like he'd always been part of the community. I just talked to him, and he said that he was introduced to Unity 70 years ago. And he went for a while, but then life got busy, as it often does, and he had other things to do. And then about 3 years ago, he walked through the doors of Unity, and he said, it felt like coming home. And he's been a strong member of our community ever since. He is our treasurer this year. And what I love about Cecil is his wisdom of the Unity teachings. He is an encyclopedia of the history of Unity. And so it's no surprise that his talk today is Wisdom from Unity Teachings. So let's please welcome Cecil Wantner.
Thank you, Bob. I'm going to start my talk this morning. It's basically about Jesus in his early days. And I think back to my early days, and there's one thing that really rings with me. As a young person, my hearing was super acute. It got overused, so I'm now supporting it. And I can recall hearing a group of girls talking. And Joyce, here's what you say to your mother when she says you've got to be home and you don't want to come home, leave the party too early. Well, Mom, what is there that I can't do before that I can do after? And that stops Mom cold in her tracks. Dad, I want to see something out in the garage. Can you open the door for me? Dad, this is it. Well, thanks, Cecil. We know how to handle the situation now, don't we? So Joyce did her part, and Dad said, well, maybe you better be home by 9 o'clock. Oh, Dad, you can't do that. Joyce, wouldn't it be okay if Daddy got the car out and brought you home? No. I'll be home at 10 o'clock. Well, she was very angry. And when she got angry, I always knew she'd get even. So one night, when I was out a little bit late, a week or two later, she strung milk bottles all across the front door. And when I opened the door, I walked in, and there was a loud crash. And before I could put the light on, I was seen, and she had got even, and she smiled all the way out in her housecoat and said, we're even now, Cecil. I said, well, you never just know. And in a sense, I put that in with the rack that I had of my memories. The girls always in September started with long white stockings. And they were all so proud of these white stockings and black patent leather shoes. And the next thing that you'd notice about the 1st of October, they weren't quite as white as they were at the start. And then around the middle of October, they met onions in boiling water, and they came out a soft brown. And we knew the year had started. Well, Jesus had a similar situation. He stayed behind when he was 12 years old and went into the temple. Mom and Dad left. No Jesus, so they came back. And Mother spoke. Your father and I have sorrowing sought you. And he said, don't you know I have to be about my father's business? And that caused a bit of excitement. I can imagine the 1st and 2nd Isaiahs, all of the prophets of old turning over in their graves and saying, yay! Yay! Because God now was not a potentate off in space. He was a father, a loving father. And he had a business, and his business, well, innately we know God's business is our life's work. There's another idea that comes up in my mind. He left and with his parents went home. We don't hear of him for another 18 years. And Lord love us, his mother was in her mid-40s at that time, and we don't know where Joseph was. Why? Well, sometimes we get an idea and we want to let it grow, and we have to be prepared for the growth. And to me, that was the thrust that took Jesus home with his parents. And remember, his mother, Mary, was dedicated to the temple at the age of 3, and she stayed there for 10 years, according to tradition. And it seems right. She certainly would be an excellent guide. From Eric Butterworth, and much of what I'm having to say is what I have gleaned from my readings over the past 3 years. Today we know Christ, what some call the presence of God, and you can go on, there's many of them, is not Jesus, but the divinity that is within Jesus. A divinity that is within every individual, every person. It means something. It means the knowledge of the presence of God, your indwelling Christ, your very own divine potential, and seeing from that knowledge, hearing from that knowledge, feeling from that knowledge, and then projecting this package into the world in the words you speak, in the feelings you engender, and the whole presence that is really what you are. Jesus said, "For this I was born, and for this I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth." Now, conventional thinking says that's God speaking, and he's saying his son has a special dispensation. And that's an excellent way to start to raise an army. But it's not the way Jesus was. For he said, all the things I do, you can do. Every person has their own inner relationship to the divine flow. Personally, I see Jesus was saying of himself what every person can say and ultimately must say. Of herself, himself. I came into the world to bear witness to the truth of my own Christ being. Does this mean that every person is going to preach or teach? No. Truth is not the spiritual gems we mouth, and that's one of my problems. Truth is a non-verbal reality. We experience truth in the depths of our being and then attempt to articulate the experience. We encode into words that which is basically a feeling. To bear witness to the truth is to know who we are and to express ourselves honestly. Remember this. You can forget everything I'm going to say and everything I have said, but remember this. It is the spiritual key to well-being. The truth of you is the Christ of you. Do you really know your Christ self? Is this the consciousness from which you are living? It may be. It can be. It ultimately will be. You've all heard the sentence, Know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Yes, free from the limitations of the past, free from the sham of human consciousness that tries to obscure who you are, free from the false attitude that believes what you are is not quite good enough. You know, the gentle, soft push down. Knowing the truth also sets you free from the false needs to emphasize your years of study, the teachers you've worked with, and the degrees you have achieved. Jesus said you are to be known by the fruits of your consciousness. A little aside, I worked for a good many years before I found my career. Everything from being a meat cutter in Safeways, to ushering in theaters, to working in accounting and industry. But when I got into teaching, I became alive. I was there at 7:30 every morning to go in with the caretaker, reading all the bulletins that had come in the day before after I'd left for home. I saw, a course on how to teach creativity to children. 4 o'clock that day, I was in line registering the course. And Dr. Blank, who was in charge, a good name for him, and he said, well, you can't take that course unless you've had this course. Well, what's this course? Defectology. Why? Anyway, I looked at him, and my training in industry told me I couldn't argue with him. So I signed up. I had defectology. I had an English professor who came from a different school of thought. Lectures were Monday and Wednesday. Monday, you got the principles. Wednesday, you got the application. Friday and Saturday, you labored through the notes. And his words were, don't think you are smart enough to study the last 2 weeks before the exam and pass. You won't. Well, that didn't sit well, but he, in his next lecture, mentioned something I have to bring to you this morning. It's the reason I took the course. Only afterwards did I realize that, but he said this. When he was doing his master's degree, he had 5 students, and he had to use a different approach with each one of them. Well, the first one he used Luria's approach. Luria is a Russian teacher, engineer, neuroscientist, and surgeon who carries the Order of Hero of the Soviet Union for his work during the war, training women fighter pilots. Now, but that's another story. With Luria, no pigeonholes. You don't label and stick somebody's into this pigeonhole. You look at them every day, every time they come in, as a fresh beginning. And you see how they process. And as they process, you will know what you have to do. So he gets his first one. An 18-year-old man comes in and he's very proud. I am a working man. Isn't that nice? Well, joy for the first meeting. The next meeting, a little bit of disappointment. And the third and fourth meetings, much more. And he said, now, you seem somewhat upset. I am. When I go home at night, men throw stuff into the creek. And of course, this was a flow of water that they used in cooling. And he said, it's not right. They think they can hurt me by not speaking to me. People don't speak to people like me. I'm speaking to you. What can you do about it? I think I've got an idea. Well, bring it to me next week. Oh, he came in the next week with a porridge bowl, a few forks and a magnet, and a small burr. Put them all together and said, see, the magnet lifts it up. If I could get a powerful enough magnet, a big enough magnet, I could pull everything up without closing the plant down. May I hang on to this? I want one of my friends to take a look at it. Brought in his colleague, one colleague from engineering, and he said, you've got a live one. 3 weeks later, he wasn't working at the plant. He was helping build a system that would take and run down the length of the creek and draw all of the metal up and out. And 3 years later, Dr. Grant had his PhD, and he was leaving for the Americas, and they had supper at Claridge. And he said, well, you've got your adventures coming. My adventure tomorrow is I'm negotiating my third Rolls Royce. He had a country home, an apartment, he had a butler, he had a cook, he had maid service, and he had a driver. And he had a position in a company that appreciated his intuition. We don't dare label, we don't dare judge. For in labeling and judging, we're telling what we are. And that is the false part of us. To keep this vision of the Christ calls for humility. The self-honesty to see yourself as a lifelong student on a quest. The need to see oneself in the right relationship to the divine flow. No more, nowhere, anywhere is this process more articulately summed up than in the closing lines of the Lord's Prayer. For thine is the kingdom, all the right ideas, all the right plans, all the right purposes. Come out of infinite mind. And the power, the strength and creative ability to put them into operations comes from the divine flow. And the glory, all of the credit for the accomplishment belongs to God. This is not from unity, but it has a unity ring. Rhonda Cronick wrote an article on the indigenous people and how they see animals. The indigenous people look to the wolf as a sign of humility. Wolves must live with their pack to thrive, but can only do so if they humbly fulfill their roles. To have humility is to understand that we're no more important than any other being. This is what I love. Humility cannot exist without love, kindness, and generosity. When we follow the wolf's teachings and work for people rather than for ourselves, we exhibit humility. We strengthen our relationships and we build a balance and an equality between all life. I think, Eric, you've been upstaged. Back to Eric. To really express yourself, your Christ self, to your neighbors and to your neighbors of the world, calls for total commitment. It means revising your thoughts about yourself, changing the way of thinking, seeing, feeling, and speaking, and acting. It means in John's gospel, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action. In a word, I'm reminded of compassion. Charles Fillmore's greatest passion, according to all of his biographers, as a person and as a spiritual teacher, was to release the indwelling Christ. From this point, he intuited the idea of the 12 powers of man. When we talk about consciousness, we have to be aware of grace and will. These two concepts give us a head start. Grace in the Hebrew means to pitch a tent, to camp. And we think today helter-skelter, but no, it was a roughly shaped circle. And we remember from the Hebrew perspective on words that they were all related to something concrete. In the case of grace, the word is linked to such things as healing, help, uplifted consciousness, finding refuge, strength, salvation. Now, that's a theological word. Take that out and put in the word rescue, and you've got the picture. These all can be summed up as providing protection. However, the concept was not far from the words of the Bible. Remember, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, the center of the camp, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And then from our way shore, the kingdom of heaven is within. Few words in Christian theology are used more and understood less than grace. The word grace today means favor. Why are you the favored child of God? Simply because you are the activity of God expressing as you. You don't have to seek grace. Grace is not a special activity or gift of God. Yet God's desire to express through you as you is so great that you never completely reap the harvest of error, and you always reap more good than you sow. I'm hearing and feeling why. Well, Eckhart, writing in sometime between 1290 and 1300, you see, New Thought is very old, said, there is a string from God to you. And when you sin, that string breaks. And God reaches over and ties a knot and brings you a little closer to himself. And eventually, you have a realization of the presence, and sin is no more. That little bit that you move out is what we might call a redemptive factor. The will of God for you is the ceaseless longing of the Creator to fulfill himself in and as that which he has created. That's a theological statement. If you miss this point, you'll think of grace as a kind of favoritism that you solicit through prayer. It's something like having a friend in City Hall that can fix your parking ticket. You are the activity of God in expression, beloved with an everlasting love. The power of will is not about having power over something or someone, not about control or influence. It is the exact opposite. Simply put, and this was a gem I got from the Advent booklet, page 60. Simply put, our spiritual will is our chooser. It moves us into right action with clarity and peace. Will directs us to our well-being and supports us as we take our next right action in any given situation, even if the decision we have made and the action we have taken seem to be outside the norm for us. When we consider grace, and will, these have been with us since the beginning. They are a part of the spiritual package that is you. They are evolutionary. For me, one who has stormed the gates of heaven for 75 years, it is a lesson learned. It's not a new book. It's not a new teacher. It's not a new religion. These end in confusion and disaster for me. I was always on the attack. I had the bases covered, but the spaces between the bases, they were wide open. As we turn to Lent, this takes on a power all its own. That power is the unfolding of the Christ within. Eckhart said, "Nothing in all creation is so like God as stillness." Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
I remember who I am. I remember who I am. I remember, I remember, I remember who I am. I remember who you are. I remember who you are. I remember, I remember, I remember who you are. We remember who we are. We remember who we are. We remember, we remember, we remember who we are.
We begin by simply breathing and allowing our hearts and minds to become still. As you relax, in whatever way is most comfortable for you, we invite you to focus on your breath and on your heart space. We join as one. Every beat of my heart radiates divine love, the harmonizing power. I am one with the harmonizing power of divine love. And whenever love is not easy, I turn within to divine love and harmonize my thoughts and realize my true nature, which is love. I breathe into the healing power of God, the renewing pulse in my body, mind, and spirit. Healing is natural to me as I become a silent witness to the wonderful and magnificent power of divine life in my body, mind, and spirit. I am renewed as I pray. All wisdom is within. I turn within to know all that I need to know. I am still now and silent, receptive to the gentle flow of inner wisdom. Still and silent, I discover the wisdom within. Celebrating unexpected blessings, I live well today. My eyes are opened to notice the untold ways that I am blessed. I cherish unexpected kind words, thoughtful gestures, landscapes, nourishment, and every kind of blessing. I behold the beauty and the Christ in each person I connect with, receiving their presence as a gift. I pray in gratitude for living well today, one with God and one with all I am, a peaceful presence. As I pray for peace in the world, I affirm that I am a living expression of peace. God's peace is my peace, flowing from within my prayerful mind and heart, touching every person that crosses my path. I affirm my unity, my connection with all people, and know that peace begins with me. Fortified by prayer, we renew our spiritual sense of purpose, which is to be the light of the world. And we agree to shine this light of love, life, wisdom, and understanding and peace into the moments we share going forward. We give thanks, and it is so. Know that you are blessed, and you are a blessing. We go in peace. Thank you.
I remember who I am. I remember who I am. I remember, I remember, I remember who I am. I remember who you are. I remember who you are. I remember, I remember, I remember who you are. We remember who we are. We remember who we are. We remember, we remember, we remember who we are. Back. At the beginning, Stephon was saying how he was saying about the 12 powers and how, like, this one power he never got it because he already has it, right? So I was thinking about songwriting, right? Songwriting is like one of my secret powers, right? But the songs that I get are not the ones like Stephon said. He gets power. That's just a given. The wisdom that comes in the songs is not something I already have. I'm getting the stuff that I need in the songs. So don't think that I actually have got this down. These songs are for me as much as they are for you. And I have to keep reminding myself of this stuff all the time, right? Yeah, I should record these songs and listen to them. You've only been saying that for like 7 years, right? Actually, I'm getting close. So I decide that song is getting close. I've been working on it for a few weeks now, and I'm getting very close to having it ready to actually share the recording. Maybe. We'll see. Would anybody buy a CD? What's that? Right. I bless the sun, I bless the rain, I bless the joy, I bless the pain, I bless the friend, I bless the foe, I bless it all, because I know that everything is a blessing, a blessing in my life. Yes, everything is a blessing, even when it's in disguise. I bless the love that draws me near. I bless the thought that's born from fear. I bless the word that hurts me so. I bless it all and let it go. 'Cause a blessing in my life. Oh, everything is a blessing, even when it's in disguise. Because everything in life has a purpose in mind, and its purpose is to lead me home. Yes, all that comes my way is for my good and not against, and it's in my life to let me know. That everything is a blessing in my life. Everything is a blessing, even when it's in disguise. Even when it's in disguise. Even when it's in disguise.
Everything is a blessing. Wouldn't it be nice if we could actually live that in our lives? Guess what? We can. By doing what Cecil suggests. By going within to that Christ light within ourselves. Doesn't he have the perfect, goodly, godly voice for meditation? Oh my goodness! I was able to just melt right into that meditation. low, soft, vibrant energy of his voice took me right there. Thank you so much, Cecil, for your talk and your meditation. So let's take him up on his offer of going within more often, shall we? And now we enter the time of conscious giving. Together, using our time, talent, and treasure, we create the wonderful spiritual community that sustains and inspires us. Thank you for your love offering donation and being part of this heartfelt work, for we know this community is a blessing to all, and the financial abundance is flowing our way. So you can, if you're here live, there are donation envelopes at the back you can fill in and enter them in our donation basket. If you're out there in the world at home, you can do an e-transfer to donate at unityofcalgary.org, or you can go to the website and donate from there, or you can mail in your check. And the address and everything is in our newsletter. So let us now affirm, our abundance affirmation together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And now Anthony is going to sing our Give with an Open Heart. And if you would like, you can stand up. We're not allowed to sing here in the, what do they call this
Real
place?
world?
The real world? Good one, Anthony. Yeah, that's it. But we can move or you can sit. It's up to you.
I'm gonna give with an open heart. Oh, I'm gonna give with an open heart. I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful for my life. And I trust that a higher power will always be there to provide. That's why I give with an open heart. That's why I give with an open heart. Oh, I'm gonna give with an open heart. Oh, I'm gonna give with an open heart.
What better way to give than with an open heart? Now we have our blessings for the children in your lives, the children in the world, and of course your very own inner child. Please repeat with me. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. Yes, indeed. For those of you here in the room, you notice there's a prayer box up front. There are request forms at the welcome table, and you can fill out your own prayer requests and drop them in the box. Or you can go onto the website, Unity of Calgary, and submit your prayer request there. Or you can email prayer@unityofcalgary.org. Your request is sent to our prayer team and to Silent Unity for 30 days of prayer. And you can also call in to Silent Unity 24 hours a day or whenever you like, and the number is 1-800-NOW-PRAY. We also hold other Unity communities in love, and this month we hold in prayer Unity Spiritual Center of Ottawa and Unity York Region Study Group. We see them having the love and support they need to continue cultivating the consciousness and bringing the message of unity across our country. And now our prayer of protection. Please join with me and speak our prayer of protection out loud. The light that is God surrounds me. I am the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am the love. The power that is God protects me. I am the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen. And now we have another song from Anthony Burbidge and the band, I Decide.
1, 2, 3, 4. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. Yes, I'm the one with the power to choose every thought and every belief. I'm the one with the voice inside that has the power to set me free. Oh, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. Yes, I'm the only one who knows what's true for the true self who lives in me. I'm the only one who's ever gonna know what my body, mind, and soul really need, and that's why I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. Oh, but every time I forget my own power and start doing what I think I should do, I've gotta take a step back and pull my soul in so I can listen to the voice that's true. It always says, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what's got to go. I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. Woo!
Thank you, Anthony and the Unity Band. Thank you all for getting up and dancing, getting the energy flowing. Yes, we're coming to the end of another wonderful Sunday morning here at Unity of Calgary. I'd just like to remind you all, when you're coming next week, if you could get here by 10:15, that would be wonderful. Stephon's giving me thumbs up. He likes that idea. That's why you can get checked in, because there is a few things we have, little papers we have to fill out when we come in. And that would be great. And don't forget that we would very much appreciate it if you held this space as a scent-free zone, so no scented perfumes or sprays. It would be most appreciated. Thank you. And now our final
Hurrah.
bit of wonderful joy is singing Let There Be Peace on Earth. So please, you can join in a circle, or you can sit. It's fine, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we will sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
1, 2, 3. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. God as creator,
Have a great week, everyone. Carry that peace out into the world with you.
One, two, three, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I'm the one with the power to choose every thought and every belief. I'm the one with the voice inside that has the power to set me free. Oh, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. 'Cause I'm the only one who knows what's true, for the true self who lives in me. 'Cause I'm the only one who's ever gonna know what my body, mind, and soul really need, and that's why I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. Oh, but every time I forget my own power and start doing what I think I should do, I gotta take a step back and pull my soul in so I can listen to the voice that's true. It always says, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what's got to go. I decide what's got